Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Welcome to Let the Ball Bounce. This your host, Dre Bailey.
Got Sherm in the building.
Mr. Controversy himself, Bill Logan, is in the building. LTBB in the building, man. The best sports talk radio show in the land, man. Download that Guerilla Cross app on your phone, man. It's not hard. If you got a Play Store on your phone, but if you got a Cricket phone, I don't think they got Play Store on Crickets, do they?
I got Cricket, and yes,
They do?
they do.
They got Cricket? You got Cricket?
I got
You
Cricket,
really got
man.
Cricket?
Man, look, it's AT&T service, and I pay about a third of the price.
Man,
You know I'm frugal.
good Lord. I thought
Frugal. You sound like a Cricket commercial right there.
Yeah, you do.
Frugal. They're paying
Man.
him to use the phone.
No wonder you don't get text messages all the time. You don't get all your text messages. Stop it, man. Your guy, Dre Bailey.
Half a G-ass phone.
We got Sherm in the building.
Mr. Controversy himself, Bill Logan, man.
Yep.
Let the ball bounce. Sports Talk Radio every Saturday, 2 p.m., man, Pacific Coast time, man. We appreciate everybody chiming in from Atlanta, New York, Dubai. Really?
Dubai.
Yeah. Colorado, Denver, Long Beach, Sacramento, the Real Bay. I'm just messing with y'all up in Oakland, man. San Francisco, man. Everybody who chimes in to the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio show, man. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, man. Please follow us at Let the Ball Bounce on IG, man. We go real heavy. Let the Ball Bounce on Twitter, and that's with one T. Yeah, man. We heavy on Twitter, man. And the hottest sports talk group on Facebook is called Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio. We appreciate everybody who chimes in every week, everybody who actually knows that we have a radio show. These are real topics, real opinions, real facts, and we give you real sports with a little bit of something else. That real deal. Real. So let me ask you guys this question, because I know this question was posed and came up a couple of weeks ago when Mr. 45 invited Clemson onto the property, the plantation that they got over there at the White House.
1600.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he basically, I'm hearing a lot of things, a lot of mixed emotions, people saying that Mr. 45, should have given these players a better dinner than Big Macs and quarter pounders and French fries and things like that. But then you're getting 45 apologists that are saying, well, that's what they asked for. They asked for burgers and things like that. So how can you be mad if he gave them what they asked for, So I want to pose the question, how would you feel as a Clemson player going to the White House and being fed a Big Mac and fries and a shake?
Something. By
Was
the
there
way,
any proof of that though that they requested?
exactly?
Because I didn't see that.
Exactly. That was my point. Exactly. Show me proof of where Trevor Lawrence said, "Yeah, I just want Big Macs and French fries when I come to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue
For my guys.
No.
Look, man, we all like a burger, fries, some pizza, something like that. We all like it, right?
Yeah.
But when you go on vacation or go to a place that you've never been, the experience is new. You never get a chance to have that, on an everyday basis. You can go to McDonald's every mile down the street, so they can always get a Big Mac, right? But if that's the case, you mean to tell me this Clemson team, out of all the teams that's ever gone to the White House in the history of athletics going to the White House, was the first one to request a Big Mac? Come on now. We not that dumb.
No.
Now, are they going to enjoy it? Yeah, because, everybody eat McDonald's and pizza and other stuff, chicken nuggets. We all eat it. So are they going to enjoy it? Yeah, because they would have eaten it the day before, the day after. But this was a different experience. So give them something different than what they've experienced. Make it an event, not just putting out barbecue sauce packets on fine china.
They eat better in their training facility than that.
Come on.
So
dog.
no, they didn't request that. Nobody can even tell me that they requested that.
If you are a Clemson player and you actually can vouch for the fact that you requested that, please give us a call, 702-608-3259, man.
Uh-huh.
Here at Guerilla Cross Studios, man.
No.
Give us a call, T. Higgins. I know you out there listening.
Yeah.
Let us know if you wanted did you want the quarter pounder with cheese or without?
What would you have said, though? Like, would you have, because he was serious. Mr. 45 was serious, man.
Well, would you have gone? That's the thing.
Well, I think that the Clemson.
I mean, was it mandatory? Did Dabo say it's mandatory that you all go?
Well, I mean, if some of those football players had a reason to play in the NFL, I think that maybe that they were obligated or felt obligated to actually go, because they didn't want that to really hurt their chances or their stock for going to the NFL.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, though?
Yeah.
Bill, you put something earlier today on Facebook on a different subject that we're going to touch on, but I couldn't like it enough about how we placate to certain things just to fit in. And I'll let you expound on that when we get to another topic that's similar regarding like Gladys Knight. But if I was part of Clemson and the team unitedly wanted to go, then I'm going to go. However, me as a player, I would have maybe tweeted out my sentiments about it, maybe talked about it. But as a team, because we won the national championship as a team, but as an individual, I still would have voiced my opinions about the situation and of the food that was presented.
Yeah, man, I thought that it was classless as the leader of the free country, the free world, that you would bring someone into your house and serve them that. Whether that's what they asked for or not, show a little bit more class. He could have had a buffet style type of setup where he could have had chicken, some vegetables and some desserts, and I've been to better wedding receptions. My wedding reception food was better than that.
Exactly, man.
Come on, man.
And the thing about it, because I see people saying, well, what's wrong with it? It's still food. They should have the privilege and the honor. But these are the same people. These are the same people who will get mad if a man takes a woman on a first date to McDonald's. They'll get upset about that. Oh, man, he took me to McDonald's.
A lot of women were saying that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they asked for it. It's food. It's okay. Would you want to go to McDonald's?
You should just appreciate.
Would you want to go to Burger King on the first date? Nah.
No. You want a better experience. You would want that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, but you ask less of it. At the end of the day, what it does, because let's not blow the lead in this, because we've seen what the president's thoughts are about these players and these players who are predominantly of a different color, who don't look like him. We've seen the way that he's responded to those type of people. So to me, what this was a reflection of how he felt about these type of people. This is your worth in my regard. We're not going to have no lobster bisque. We're not going to have no grilled shrimp and prawns, a nice filet.
Yep.
Nah, you're not worth that.
Well, how about this? How about the fact that
This is the food that's in the hood, so that's what y'all eat.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Wow.
Tamika Bolton, I think that's a great point. Even 45 didn't even sit down and eat with him. And I mean, this is supposed to be a bread-breaking type of event, maybe a conversation, just to sit down with the president and maybe, get into the mind of the president for a little bit. And
Who would want to be in the mind of that dude?
well, I would. I want to see.
He's already showed us his mind.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more though. I want to see what he got up his sleeve, because he's not finished. Don't get it twisted.
And people say, well, it's a once in a lifetime type of thing. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, there's tours of the White House anyways. Our very own Dre Bailey has been to the White House himself. He didn't win a national championship to be able to go. So it's not as if, and some people's like, well, I would love to go to D.C. Well, I mean, Spirit Airlines is flying there for about $99. It's not hard to go to D.C. It's not hard to go tour the monuments and all the beautiful historic venues that are there, including the White House.
Who built them? Who built that thing too?
Who built that thing?
Who built that thing?
How much were they? Well, answer the question and then ask how much were they paid for doing so.
I know who built that thing. Same people who picked cotton and didn't get a dime for it.
Right.
Well, you want to talk about someone who's not getting a dime and speaking and keeping it all relative with the president and in sports is Travis Scott. Travis Scott's not getting paid and didn't want to get paid for his halftime show for the actual Super Bowl that's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. And I feel a certain type of way about that. Okay, you're a millionaire. You're already a superstar, right? I get it. You're not wanting to really get paid. But how about asking for them to pay you and donate that money towards something that really matters? What's wrong with that? But to just flat out say, I don't want a dime for it, I'm just going to do it for free. Come on, man. Like, even if you really didn't want to do it, but you kind of wanted to do it to get your album sales up there or your popularity up there a little bit more, get the world to really know about Travis Scott, ask for that money and donate it to whatever Colin Kaepernick is standing for.
But you do know Super Bowl performers never get paid.
So I was going to address that point, Mark, because it's true. Super Bowl performers don't get paid. And the Super Bowl's mantra is that you have 50 million plus people watching. This is the biggest stage you'll ever perform singularly, right? So they never pay. Okay, that's fine. They've never paid.
They would have had to pay me.
This is nothing different. So all these other entertainers' thought process, whether you're talking about a Jay-Z, a Beyonce, Dr. Dre, Puffy, all these other performers who have turned down the Super Bowl venue recently have all said, well, look, you're not paying us anyway. I'm already pretty popular. Okay, so that's not going to enhance it any further. But since you're not paying and it's not, and your movement isn't conducive to what I think in the way you've colluded and blackballed a specific player for standing up and fighting for our justices, then I'm not gonna placate to your indulgences. I'm not gonna just go here and perform for free, knowing how you really feel about us and our kind.
And that's what I'm saying. If the Super Bowl never pay for the performances, you want one of us to perform?
Right.
You're going to have to pay. Right? So now they out there treating them like the federal employees right now.
Yeah.
You just out there working for free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do it. That's just me. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't perform. If I'm already a widely popular entertainer, I'm good. Get somebody else.
I'm gonna chime in real quick, just on the music business side of that. You usually will have a product you're gonna promote right after that, either a new album that just dropped, a new album that's gonna drop. You're gonna get people that will never see you before or after, maybe, that will most likely become a fan of you that was not a fan before, because you do have so many eyes, not just in America but worldwide, watching that performance on the Super Bowl. So that is one of the best ways to get your music, your product, your movie, whatever you're doing out there. Same thing when they go on talk shows. They're not getting paid to go on a talk show. They're going on Jimmy Fallon to promote their next movie.
Right.
So any type of promotion is good. And when you have like that big
But we're
talking
about right now in today's society where we are dealing with social injustices.
Yeah.
Is why the main protest started in the first place. Now, what I don't agree with is we can't expect, and I'm going to say this, and I hope this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, but I've been known to do that. Just because I'm black and I believe in something, don't mean that because you're black, you should believe in it too. And so that is what I think we're looking at. Colin Kaepernick is standing up for something way bigger than him. Travis Scott don't give a damn about that.
No.
And we cannot be mad at Travis Scott because he does not have the same type of feelings that Colin Kaepernick has. Come on, man. We can't.
I agree.
However, and you're right, you don't, because no two people gonna have the same exact thoughts about something, whether it's political or religious or any of that, right? But me personally, I would have gone and made a platform of, yes, the Super Bowl asked me to perform because I'm that talented. The Super Bowl wanted me to entertain you guys. I chose not to because of these principles, because of this, and this, because that's going to garner equal amount of attention as well. That's how I would have approached it.
There are a lot of black people who feel like, hey, if it don't concern me, I don't worry about what's happening. Just like a large popular groups in America, they don't see injustices as we might see it. And is it a problem? Yeah, I say it's a problem, but at the same time, a lot of people don't. And you know, like you just said, Dre, you can't be mad at them. You just gotta say, man, you know what? Okay.
A lot of people are worried about their own little world, which is their money, their pocket,
Exactly.
and their immediate family. They don't realize that these other outside issues,
until it happens to them.
exactly,
That
Or
part.
someone-
that, that it does affect their family and what their life is and their money and everything else. And like you said, they can make a bigger impact by doing something about that. Or if you do perform, talk about that. Like shed light on that situation if you are going to perform.
And see, if you guys remember last year, Jay-Z and Beyonce were going to do the Super Bowl, and they were going to come out in Kaepernick jerseys, and the NFL told them that they can't. Think about that, though.
Yeah.
Think about that. They were going to perform. They were going to use that platform to talk about what's going on, and the NFL shut that down. If that doesn't tell you how the NFL feels,
But being such big artists, they could have worked around that. The Janet, they didn't tell the NFL they were going to pull her breast out.
right,
They let it happen live on air. So cool.
right,
They wouldn't have been able to block if Jay-Z and Beyonce would have Superman
yeah,
Well,
their clothes and
well,
then had a Kaepernick shirt.
I would have pulled what's the radio personality? It's about 6'7", white guy, crazy hair, glasses.
Howard Stern.
I would have pulled a Howard Stern. I'm not gonna tell you what my next move is gonna be. I'm just gonna do
Just
it.
do it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
So I mean, I understand Travis Scott's thing because he's popular. He's dating a Kardashian. He's in the limelight, and he's trying to capture more of that. But I think you're also cutting off a big segment of who listens to your music.
I listen to it though, and
Right.
see, this the crazy thing about it. Jay-Z made a comment saying he was disappointed and upset that Travis Scott was performing in the Super Bowl halftime. I'm looking at Jay-Z like, why, man? To me, you in that man's pockets. You don't know what the reason is he's doing it for, right? So to me, I felt like I can't get mad at Travis Scott for doing what he wants to do. But if it was me, I wouldn't do it, right? So I can only speak for me. I can't expect you to have the same type of frame of mind or the same type of cause that I'm fighting for. Just when we're in there fighting for a cause, you have no voice to me.
Because we all don't. We all don't have the same frame of mind.
Right?
And when you find that out, it's up to you to say whether you want to deal with this dude or not.
And
That
I don't
part.
think anybody's advocating to be mad at him, or we're going to touch on Gladys Knight. I'm not advocating anybody to be mad at them, but you can be disappointed. It's almost, and I'm not calling Travis Scott or anybody a house nigga. I'm not calling them that. I'm just using this reference. It's almost like you can't be, I guess, mad at someone deciding to be to go into master's house and work because they like, man, I don't want them lashes. But the problem is it starts to divide and dilute the message of unity. And so therefore, when you look at a Travis Scott who decides to go this direction, like, man, I liked him and I like Jay-Z. Jay-Z must be wrong because Travis Scott decided to do it. No different than when you hear Jason Whitlock on TV who is completely against the entire movement. Well, his fans or those people that we're trying to get the message through to are like, well, these guys must be wrong. No different than when Kaepernick started kneeling, then they went to a Dez Bryant and a Dak Prescott and even Cam Newton. They were like, well, I ain't really with that. Oh, then he must be wrong then.
And you just said a key word, unified front.
That part.
There's a unified front against Kaepernick that's way bigger than a unified front for Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of brown people on that side too.
Yeah.
Which is sad because he's talking about the preservation of black lives.
Right.
Lives that's being taken.
Black fathers that are
Yes.
that are being
Kids being
it's
shot
about-
down.
yeah, it's about
and
to be
nobody's
extinct.
nobody's being put responsible for that.
Right.
And that's sad. And if you're against that, if you can't see that, man,
And
like you said, you
that's
can't be
it.
mad at him because everybody don't have the same frame of mind.
But
it's
I
it's
know where I
disappointing.
stand.
It's disappointing.
It's
like you said.
disappointing, and I know where I stand when
Yeah.
it comes to you,
Yeah.
right? And when we're really out in the trenches trying to make things happen and trying to make a change, you don't have a voice to me.
Right.
I know that we're not on the same playing field. We may be able to associate on certain things, but when it really comes down to the nitty gritty, we don't have the same mindset.
Yeah.
No.
I would have to agree with that. I know Gladys Knight has announced that she will be singing the national anthem. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Again, much like the Travis Scott situation, but I think that this is, for me, more of a travesty
Wow.
because of what Mark brought out, that Travis Scott is trying to build his brand, has a project coming out. He's entertaining. Okay. Nobody's building a project around a national anthem song. Okay, singing it. Gladys Knight has
Especially
already,
because this song is the whole reason everything's going on.
exactly. So what people fail to understand, and let me just make this perfectly clear to everyone who's listening or watching. No one is against, up and including Colin Kaepernick, is against the United States of America or the flag
Or the anthem.
or the anthem. But what we have failed to do in our country's history is tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we failed to talk about the reason why that song was written. And we're not going to get too deep. We've already talked about this
Yes,
plenty
we
of
have.
times on this show. But that song was written as a battle cry to white troops to go fight a black regiment of army or military people fighting for their freedom
In the Civil War.
in the right. Well, in the War of 1812,
Yeah.
which was just before the Civil War. So there was these black military who were fighting for their freedom, going up against Francis Scott Key, who was leading a white troop of military people. They were fighting each other, and that song was written to go to get his troops riled up to go fight these people. That's why there's 3 verses or stanzas to that song, which culminate with talking about killing black slaves and them not having a burial or a place to go after their death. But we don't talk about that. So that's why the song is at the heart of this whole discussion. Yeah, they've kind of smoothed it over, but that's why it's disappointing to me that Gladys Knight is doing this because, yes, she's from Georgia, but she's already created and cemented her legacy. So singing this song isn't uniting people, as she said in a statement. It's not uniting. It's still further creating a divide.
I'm on the side with you. I'm kind of disappointed that she's doing it because, like you said, she's 74 years old. Yeah, her brand is already what it is, you know. But I can speak for me. What I would have done, being that I'm Gladys Knight, no, I'm good because, like I said, I'm Gladys Knight. But the one thing that's disingenuous to me, and I was looking at a lot of comments on that, was how a lot of people who probably haven't even heard a Gladys Knight song, all of a sudden now she's a great American for doing this. She's I've always loved her. Really? Name one song. Name one song. Name two songs. A lot of you guys don't even know anything. A lot of you people that were commenting about how great of an American she is don't even know nothing about her. Don't even know nothing about her and the Pips. But all of a sudden,
I was just going to say, name her backup group.
Right. Name her backup group.
Well, when Aretha Franklin passed, didn't they put Gladys Knight picture up?
Yeah.
Boy, please.
So we're a great American if we agree upon to do something that America wants us to do. That you're a great American then. You're not a great American if you don't do what they tell you to do. So it's like that whole thing is like disingenuous. It's almost like, you know, these white people saying, "Well, I have black friends." You know, don't even make that comment, you know, to me. But it's disingenuous, and a lot of people who are on the side of against the side of Kaepernick, that is their whole belief system. It's like, you know, if you don't do it, you're not a great American. You don't belong in this country. Get out of this country. First of all, this wasn't your country anyway.
But I think it's beyond, you know, on how I feel. It's beyond the national anthem is the song, and more of how the NFL has handled this whole situation the last 3 years. I don't think people would have a problem if the NFL would have addressed this and addressed it the right way and created the proper dialogue
Exactly.
for the whole situation. They wouldn't care if Gladys Knight sang the national anthem because at least the NFL is addressing that. But the whole problem is the NFL keeps trying to throw a blanket over it and blatantly saying, like, we don't care about this. Don't do, you know, and like the NBA, I'm not saying they've been perfect at how they handle these situations, but they do a lot better job at, if the player's got a problem, even if we don't understand it, and that's like a lot of people that are against the people kneeling. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean that you can't at least try to understand what they're doing. Like, hey, I might not understand, but I back you for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL has gone totally opposite direction of that and made the people kneeling look like fools and look like idiots. And to the point where there's horrible quarterbacks in the league and Colin can't even get a job. And I think that's the whole problem is the NFL will not even talk about it the way people want. We're just saying we want you to address the situation.
Yeah.
We're not saying you have to be the ones to fix it.
Yeah.
Address it the right way. Let's create dialogue. And they've refused to do that. And that's why a black woman should not be singing the national anthem during an NFL game.
Yeah.
Now, Tamika brings up a great point. She goes, so are we disappointed in Whitney, Jennifer Hudson, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, all of the former black entertainers that sang or,
But is that before that's before this
Those are
controversy
before
and
the
we saw how the
controversy.
NFL was going to handle the situation.
But
Not
the
saying it wasn't there before.
Yeah, but the national anthem always stood the same.
No,
It did, but I think, now that we see how the NFL and we see how the country and we see how 45 has brought this to, and it's become a racial divide. When we see that,
Act
me as a
accordingly.
black man, as a black person, I can't be involved with it.
Right.
I'm not performing.
And
No.
see, I'm big on saying with the addition of new information, a mature individual can change their mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
So think about it. 10, 15 years and beyond that, we were all stepping in the name of love. We were all vibe. We were all slow dance.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Right.
We were all
doing
12
that.
playing it.
We were exactly. Some of our
You
children
remind
were
me
born-
of my Jeep.
Exactly.
I
We
wouldn't
were
got
all
a
doing
Jeep
that.
because of that song.
My Barbie Jeep.
Exactly. How many
It's in my basement.
How many people had their wedding song "Step in the Name of Love"? I believe I can fly.
I would say how many
But-
people didn't, and you'll get a accurate account.
Right, probably so. Now, look at how the climate has changed in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Has
So-
that man been to court yet, though?
Not yet.
Has he been convicted?
They're investigating.
Okay.
They're criminally investigating.
So
right
what
now.
if they come back with his investigation, nothing found, blah, blah, blah?
But that
Yeah, they did before.
right,
But
they did
I don't
before.
know.
So, but
I mean,
I
isn't
know
there
this
a
time.
video of him peeing on the
Because
girl,
he's condemned
Yeah.
already. He's already been
but with new information, we have a different perspective.
Well,
right?
like Dayline NBC is actually going to be doing a story on this situation too, which will bring out a lot
Interesting.
more.
I'm looking forward to that as well too.
Chris Hansen's going to walk in like, Mr. Kelly, have a seat.
Yeah, let's go into your studio. Let's go in some of those rooms. I just want to send a cleaning crew, see what those rooms look like. But
maybe Chris need to stay out of the news too.
Is that an easy bake oven over there? Man, who was up in here?
Easy bake oven. Don't spit it. Don't spit the juice out. Drew.
oh, you stupid.
Oh my gosh.
Man, he said easy bake.
Is that an
But-
easy bake oven over there?
To me, I think Tamika brought out a very good point, and a lot of people are asking that question. But I think that's our thought process on it. It's just that the NFL has tried to douse the flame of equality and police brutality under the umbrella of the national anthem until we start uncovering what the national anthem actually meant and what it stood for initially. And so therefore, and then what people don't understand is the Lift Every Voice song was our national anthem at one point
Yeah.
until they found out it was written by a black man. And so therefore, we can't have our national anthem written by a black man. Let's bring out that Star Spangled Banner again and see what that's about. And the controversy start brewing again.
Right.
We just have to, that's why I said we got to tell the truth of our history and such.
Well, with that being said, I know I'm gonna answer that question for you, Tamika, right now. Would it matter if Gladys Knight knelt while she was singing? If she did that, good for her. I can't wait to see that. But them old 74 old knees.
She's not getting back up. Where's her life alert?
Look, man, your guy Dre Bailey,
Sherm in the building.
Mr. Controversy himself,
Yeah.
Bill Logan in the building.
Controversy.
Caller. What's your name and what is your question?
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's David from up here in the Bay Area. How you doing?
Hey, David, what's up, man? What's up with it,
What's
man?
good?
I ain't talked to you, man, since Los Cabos.
Oh, I know, man. Since hey, so what's all inclusive mean? My bad, man. That's a little inside thing.
I know.
But man, quick question, man. So everyone's upset. Gladys Knight, Travis Scott. We still don't even know what kind of performance Travis Scott. He might do something. And you might be like, dang, I'm glad he did that. But that's like a whole nother topic. Why are we not upset at the football players? Because sports is entertainment, right?
Yep.
Why are we not mad at Cam Newton when he went out and he played in the Super Bowl? Why are we not mad at XYZ or running back, receiver, or whatever going out there on Sunday for the Super Bowl? If there's someone's trying to make a stand in the movement, you gotta be united on the front.
Well,
from
we all know
the
that
bottom
it's
all the-
money.
Yeah, they're getting paid.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
money.
It's money. So
Yeah.
So
But how come they?
And
they
we all
shouldn't get
know
a pass
money-
either.
Money means more to a lot of people than some moral stances.
and we've talked about this. I'm sorry to cut you off, David.
No, you're good. Yeah.
We've talked about that as well too. My point has always been I wish that the players had sat out a couple of weeks. Even 1 week of players sitting out would have generated so much of an uproar, and the blowback is always that, well, they don't want to take food off their table. And I always go back to 1982 and 1987. And in those 2 years, the NFL players went on strike because they didn't like the way they were being treated. And back then, the NFL was about 50-50 black and white. and they were making on average about $150,000 per year. So if those players didn't, they saw the bigger picture. They were still having food taken off their tables back then, but these players now getting paid hundreds of millions. You mean tell me they can't sit out a game or two to get the NFL's ear?
Yeah.
I mean, the LA teachers are able to go on strike for a couple of days and lose their paycheck for a bigger purpose. But these NFL
they're making a
players
lot
can't.
less money.
Exactly.
You know, I think that's a great question you brought up, because I posed that question too before, Dave. You know, with all of these people so mad about the NFL and all of the things that's been transpiring over the past couple of years, why you still watch it? But that's not going to stop you from watching the game, though. It's not going to stop you from getting that NFL ticket, though.
No,
it's not going to stop you from taking your hard-earned money down to the casino and placing a bet, though.
Yeah. I mean, what I was gonna say was the NBA. You know, it used to not be union. I watched this documentary on this thing, and they all got together on an all-star game. They kept knocking on the owners' doors. We want to be union. We want to be recognized. We want this. We want that. And so finally, they said we're not going to play in the all-star game. They all united on that, and they ended up getting a union. And I think the Super Bowl is a perfect time. I mean, for like, let's say it's the Chiefs versus the Rams, right? Well, you start having that dialogue with players from the other team and say, hey, look, man, we're going to sit out. And I don't care, you know. And then that gets back to the NFL, and now all of a sudden you got 50 million viewers watching, and they're waiting for this game.
Ooh.
And now you have demands that need to be met.
Ooh.
Now
ASAP.
I guarantee the NFL caves. I guarantee, but it takes a lot of unity and people to get together on this, but. You know, is it going to happen? Would it happen because a team has 55 players, right? And you're going to have 55 different views, and maybe 23 of those are with you, and the rest are not.
Tom Brady would not sit out that Super Bowl.
But
you have people like that.
He'll be out there playing by himself.
Yeah, but David, you
get
made
a lot of touchdowns.
I can't express how great of a point you just made, because I know everybody didn't look in the inner workings of the Players Coalition when Kaepernick was still in the league, but if you actually go in and see what they wrote and what they talked about, that was their end goal. So Kaepernick had, in according to some reports, he had up to 30% of NFL players willing to sit out a game, if not a playoff game, until a couple of the players, Malcolm Jenkins, spearheaded, saying, wait, let's not do that. Let me go talk to the league, and maybe we can come up with another way. And then it all started getting fractured. Our theme today so far has been unified front. So Malcolm Jenkins took him and a couple other players a different direction. And when you start saying, well, you know what, maybe we don't have to miss no game checks. I'm in the owner's ear. We can probably get this done without missing games. Now you start having it fractured. Now players are like, oh, okay, well, I don't got to miss no games now. I'm going to just go with Malcolm Jenkins' route. And now Gladys Knight said this. She said, well, look like the NFL has been doing a lot of change. They got this new equality movement. Malcolm Jenkins got this big check. Have y'all seen anything on TV regarding any of that?
No.
Any commercials? Any PSAs?
No. And like Quan was saying, they just wanted the NFL to do something. Make some PSAs for it. That's it. We're not, we know that the problem can't be fixed. But if you guys partner with us to make some PSAs on injustices, that's enough.
You might save one life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just like you do dog fighting against, PETA, just like you do
breast cancer,
domestic violence, like they had the big domestic violence PSA where dudes had tears coming out their eyes, and all those are needed. Right. This is needed too.
Yeah, breast cancer is not going anywhere as far as it's not going to be eradicated. Domestic violence isn't going to just be eradicated, but you bring awareness to it, and when a situation like that happens, you move on it swiftly. Well, that's all people were asking about, the whole injustice and
but when
movement.
But excuse me, when you have the mindset of a lot of Americans think that, cops are right no matter what, when they shoot someone or you see some of these foul things that goes on, that's hurtful because it's like, you mean to tell me Tamir Rice was deserving to get shot down 2 seconds when you arrived up on the scene? Come on, man.
And if that were the case, then why are they pushing, paying out some of these settlements and
Right.
such? So I think David brought out a very good and valid point. But these players were headed toward that direction. They just wanted some assistance with it, the same way the
Yes.
NBA assists their players with creating dialogue about the situations.
Well, David, man, we appreciate the phone call, man. That's great. Great question, man. It gives
Yes,
everybody something to think about,
Yeah.
bros.
So, man, I just want to add one more thing.
Yep.
You guys said you want the PSAs and all that. I want Goodell needs to go like on TV, kind of like how Hunt and all these other players that go on TV when they make a mistake and they say what happened that night and they say, "Hey, I'm apologetic." Goodell needs to go on. He needs to recognize that Colin Kaepernick has been excluded. There's been collusion amongst owners, and he needs to explain why. And I think that would get everyone moving forward, saying, "Hey, look, we didn't want him on an NFL team and X, Y, Z, and this is why." And I think that's important too for them to address that.
Never happened.
He won't because he's paid from the owners. And actually, I think just the legal, and I won't go along with it. The legal dynamics are if they prove that the NFL was colluding, then they have to cancel their contract, and they can go back into negotiations right now, which will give the players guaranteed contracts. So if the players were really smart 2 years ago, they would have sided with Kaepernick because now the players who are getting hurt or getting cut without pay would have had guaranteed contracts. But some of these players don't have the foresight to think forward like that.
Yeah. Dave, man, we appreciate the
for
phone
sure.
call,
All right,
man.
you guys have a good one, man.
Yeah, man,
All right,
keep
brother.
it up, man. Keep calling, man. Very good points.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, if Cap had 30% of the players, they don't even need a majority to make an impact. If you have 30% of players sit out 1 or 2 weeks, that would make an impact. And honestly, of course, the Super Bowl would be a huge stage to do it on. But if you did it on week 1, that would still make a major impact. But the fact that they haven't done anything like that.
And I think when you say that, it's very disheartening. If I was Kaepernick, I would feel very disheartened. And I honestly feel that Kaepernick felt that, not even a small amount of people really had his back on what he was actually doing. Man.
That is a union, a players' union. And how many people supported him
That's what I'm saying, man.
in that whole union?
At the
Very little.
the union itself, the players' union, not many. But when they did the players' coalition, it was quite a bit. Like they said, at one point, up to 30% of the league.
But
felt or was sympathetic toward it and was on those weekly conference calls.
But this is what you're getting. You're getting a lot of players, a lot of professional athletes who are living in the now, right? And a lot of these athletes are fathers, right? But I thought as a father, right, for your kids, you want to set things up for them for the future, right? Isn't that kind of what part of being a father is? What I'm doing now, it's really not all about me and in the moment. And for me right now, it's going to make a difference for my kid when he gets this age or as he's coming up, right? Why can't these players see past the now?
We live in a very selfish world
Yeah,
where
'cause
we're self-centered and it's
all
about
self.
you're not going to remember where that $10,000 went that you missed that game, right? But you will remember that impact that missing that game had forever. But you can't think, so many people can't think like that. They just see that $10,000 and that's big. But like, how many times have you lost money? Like, I don't remember what I did with that, but I remember like you went to Mexico for a wedding, right? Who cares how much you spent? You remember the impact that had, right?
For sure.
And people won't do that. They won't take that chance and take that. Well, let's just go get married downtown because they don't want to spend that money. But a downtown wedding, who cares? Like spend that money, lose that money to make a bigger impact And like you said, for your kids are going to look at that. They're not going to look, oh, Daddy, thank you for saving $10,000.
That point.
They don't know what money means.
No. Me and Dre talk about this a lot because my business does college scholarships for kids, and we help parents fund money for their kids' college savings. And so many of the people that I sit down with during my seminars will say, you know what, right now is not the right time. You know, it's Christmas coming up. I got this big screen I want to buy. I got these Jordans I want to get, or this new, PlayStation that I want to get. And they look at what they can get today, not knowing that, man, if I just put away $100 or $200 or whatever amount today and continue doing that, my kid's going to go to college for free. But they look at the instant gratification of today of getting the new, makeup, purse, Jordan, shoes, whatever. We look at the instant gratification. So to Mark's point,
and society pushes that.
Yeah,
because they want everyone to be broke.
Yeah.
Right.
Great dialogue, great questions, great valid points. All of it needs to be talked about. The Super Bowl will be here in a couple weeks, and all of you activists and we'll be watching that game, And so my thing is, I'm all about the show me state. You can tell me what you do till you blue in the face. You can talk about it, but until you be about it, it means absolutely nothing. You have to be able to stand on your word. And I have to be able to see you standing there.
You want to see it.
I want to see it. Oh, yeah, man. I went down, man, and I was supporting so-and-so. Okay. Let me see. You got any pictures?
Oh, man, I got caught up on something, man.
I thought so.
My
man.
phone died.
So, it happens. And at the end of the day, man, just being the best human being that you could possibly be, I think stands more for anything than just saying that you're gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
Stand behind it. It's bigger than you. This thing that you're doing right now is gonna shape America and change the way that we look at sports and the way that athletes are perceived in the near future. Make that change. Who said that? Michael Jackson.
Yeah. But if you don't make that change, what kind of voice is that saying to the people that don't want that change to be made?
You got to stand for something or fall for nothing.
Oftentimes, you not taking that side is just as loud to the people who oppose it.
Yeah.
So you're also speaking loudly when you don't support this. I think you posted something. I don't remember what you posted, but it was either you or Kev Anthony that just said that the silent speaks just as loud. I can't remember, so I'm not going to go there. But one of you guys posted it. I thought it was powerful. Yeah.
It was Kev.
Something to think about, peoples. Super Bowl's coming right up, and we got playoff games that actually start today. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I wonder who you guys got, man. We got that Rams game tomorrow, right? We got that
Rams Saints. Yeah.
A lot of people are putting
two good games.
A lot of people are putting the Rams in the Super Bowl. I've been reading a lot of social media, man, and Rams are already in the Super Bowl as far as I'm concerned.
One thing I like about this playoffs, you have the 4 best teams in the NFL. The 2 number 1s versus the 2 number 2s. They've been the most dynamic teams all season. Best records in the league as well. The matchups are very even. And then what makes it good as well is the Rams played the Saints earlier this season. Kansas City played New England earlier this season. So we're seeing rematches of great teams with their own storylines. We got Drew Brees, who is trying to make he's been playing for a lot of years, 38 years old, and a lot of people have him as one of the MVP candidates versus the up-and-coming Rams, 2 dynamic offenses playing in the Superdome where it is almost impossible to beat the Saints at.
Yep.
Well, for me, I think the Saints are going to win. I'm going to give them the home field advantage
Yes, me too.
for that game. I think it'll be close. I don't really necessarily think it'll be high scoring. I think it'll be, like we think it'll be, like in the high 30s, maybe 40s.
Really?
I think it'll be like maybe 27-24.
Yeah.
Oh. I personally see it a little higher scoring. I've been very off on my predictions this year, so don't go out and run
that's
to your
why
bookie.
I said the Cowboys was going to win because I've been terrible all year. So I knew that was.
So it was purpose then.
Yeah,
But
I did that.
But
Cowboys lost last week, for those of you that didn't know.
I actually see the Rams squeaking this one out.
Hmm.
The Saints have been playing bad. Actually, since the Cowboys beat them, the Saints haven't looked too dynamic since.
Hmm.
I see the Rams winning this one in a pretty high scoring game, 35-32.
It's a pretty high scoring game.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
I got Saints. Home field. I think Drew Brees is going to do enough for his field goal unit to come in and win this game 26-20.
Yeah, considering these two teams, those are low scoring games. Yeah.
I think
it's going to be a lot of
27-24.
Yeah.
27-24.
What about the AFC matchup? Kansas City and New England. Again, another rematch. We got another rematch, but now we have the clear-cut MVP candidate, the youngster in his first-year start, and Patrick Mahomes, who's taking the league by storm, throwing no-look passes, sidearm passes. Y'all remember seeing that movie Wanted, where he was shooting a bullet in the angle?
Yeah.
Well, Patrick Mahomes throwing passes like that. And then you got the speedster Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
Looks like we know who you going for.
But you also got the GOAT. And I'm a diehard 49er fan, and I love Joe Montana, but I gotta concede, and I said it live on air when Tom Brady came back and beat Atlanta. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. You got the greatest quarterback of all time and the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick. They don't lose these games. They don't lose these games. So you got the best of all time going against a youngster and Patrick Mahomes.
They have lost those games before, though.
Eh.
Let's be real. They've lost AFC championship games before. They've lost Super Bowls before. They've lost these games. So it's not like they always win these games.
They don't.
I'm going
lose
for the
on
Chiefs, bro.
Are you going for the Chiefs?
Well, I want to see that picture Dre got to post for those Patriot fans.
So you're selfishly going for
Yeah.
New England.
Just like they was going selfishly for my Cowboys last week. Yeah.
Look at this play right here. OKC.
Oh.
This is a good, and then watch. It's a good game right now. OKC, City Thunder is playing against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have taken the lead, but Westbrook got
he acted
fouled.
like he died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he did.
but you should have seen when he got up. He attacked. He tried to attack
Did he?
him.
Boy.
But
The
yeah, man,
holdback attack, though, right?
I gotta go with New England. And they're playing on the road too, right?
In Kansas City.
Yeah. So I'm going New England in this game. 14.
Oh.
That's it.
14 to that's it.
Yeah. 14-28.
New England.
New England.
They're holding Kansas City to 14 points.
0 chance.
Oh.
That's 0 chance to win this game.
You want Kansas City to
I
win.
want Kansas City
You're
to
picking
win.
New England.
Yeah.
I can't go against Belichick.
So a lot of people can't.
He finds a way to shut down your best.
But you're
player.
going against him because you tired of seeing them in the Super Bowl. You've said that 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
And see, I agree.
And
I'm-
he picked against the Cowboys 2 weeks away. Yeah. 1 week it came up short.
1
Super
week out
short.
of 23 years,
You came up short. You won last week though.
I want Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I want to see them.
I don't
win.
want no steak dinner either. I want pizza.
Pizza? All right.
He love pizza. He know where to get
That's
the
what I'm
best
talking
pizza.
about.
Yeah.
You have to show us that pizza spot.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
look good. I want Kansas City to win. I just don't see them pulling it out. I see New England winning this game. I would say I think it's going to be a little more high scoring, even though the weather isn't great. I still see it 31-27,
Mm,
New England.
mm. It's gonna be a good game, man.
and I think the weather is actually going to be better than they
Yeah.
initially, because they were saying 10 degrees, and I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
15, boy, stop.
No, it's still
11,
30
11 and a
degrees.
half. It's a little bit better.
11 and a half.
That's funny, man.
11 and a half.
Get them tickets in, man. Get them tickets in, and I think it's gonna be, no matter who wins these games, it's gonna be a really good Super Bowl. We should do a Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get a suite somewhere. Maybe at the Aliante or something.
Ooh.
Get a
I
suite.
thought you guys had something
Sweet.
going. That's
We-
what Goose said.
We got a show.
But he
We'll-
talking about doing a suite.
We will keep y'all updated
Yeah.
on the next
As we get
The next.
we
Let
get
the ball
things
bounce.
figured out.
Super Bowl extravaganza.
It's funny, man. Look, we are getting into a little bit of the NBA right now. OKC has been up and down this year. Westbrook's shooting is not what it once was, but the guy is still averaging a triple-double still.
Once was when was he a
Well, he shot better last year than he shot
great
from the field.
shooter?
Not saying he was a great shooter. He's a great scorer. But this year, he's not that great of a scorer. Paul George is the best scorer on that team this year.
Yeah, he, no doubt. No doubt.
Your guy, Dre Bailey,
Sherman the building.
Mr. Controversy himself, Bill Logan. We got another phone call. Caller. What's your name? What's your question?
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Big Les, man. What's up, Dre?
What up,
What
Big
up with
Les?
it, man?
Man, if you don't take
Hub City.
your
Barry
11 p.m. Phone sex voice off.
Midnight Love Train. Baby, I'm coming through with the Dickie suit on and these young slippers. You feel me?
Pecos
Ain't know about
brownies.
those slippers.
They ain't ready.
Ain't
They
know about those corduroys.
not the blue
They know about those
corduroys,
corduroy
baby
slippers.
boy. Not the blue corduroys, boy.
What's up, Sharon? What's up, Brother Williams?
What's going
Pretty
on?
good, man.
Nothing much, man. I was just calling to chime in on y'all NFL picks tomorrow, man. I got Rams and Patriots going to the Super Bowl. So I'll just get it out there
Ooh.
right now.
Hey, you know?
You got to put it out there.
You know. So those are my two picks. You know,
Sound like you
not
be
that it
listening
means
to your
anything,
boy.
but hey, man. I guess we got to agree on something, right?
Yeah.
You know
One
what
out
I'm
of
saying?
10 ain't bad, right?
right. But nah, man, I just wanted to call in and chime in on that. I ain't seen Sherman in a while, so I just wanted to call in, holler at him,
My guy.
and welcome him back in the
Yeah.
fold. I know you've been busy with his business and everything, which is that's what it's about, man. You know, handle that business.
Yeah, man.
Other than that, and like I said, I just really was calling about the NFL thing. Y'all pretty much touched on all the other topics that were hot this week, as far as the Gladys Knight situation, the Travis Scott situation.
Right.
You guys expanded on that very well, and Quan got his chime in on it. So you guys covered everything that's pretty much been hot topics for the past 7 days.
Don't go too far because we gonna talk about your Lakers here in a little bit too in the next segment. So don't go too far.
Yeah, actually, right
yeah,
now.
we're pulling off the upset tonight. Upset Saturday. Lakers gonna get that win down in H-Town tonight.
Okay, well, I got Harden going for 56 on y'all
Yeah, he'll
tonight.
probably get 60. They're gonna lose though.
You
They're
know,
gonna lose though.
we,
No
we,
rim
we gave
protection.
Fluke Walton. We gave Fluke Walton a reprieve. So
That's funny.
So
we'll
talk.
see how it goes tonight.
Let's talk about that real quick because a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
when at the beginning of the season,
Oh, it's a lot
especially
of them.
yeah, especially when LeBron came, it was Luke Walton's on a hot seat, and and then others were saying, you know, he's a really good coach and should not be fired. But you've been consistent, not just because you don't like him as a person or anything. You've been consistent with diagnosing his plays, his rotations. What is it about Luke Walton that you don't like, and why you don't see him as being the future of your squad?
Basically, it just comes down. I never thought he was ready to be a head coach to begin with when the old regime hired him. And I'm more going off of that. It's nothing, like you said, personally. I like Luke. I liked him as a player. You know, he was a champion with us. He's a smart player. Well, when he played, you know, he was always hurt, so I can't really say.
Right.
But,
You like his dance moves too?
You know, he kind of like his dad. When his dad played, he was good. You know, but he was hurt a lot. But no, personally, nothing against the dude, personal issue-wise. I just felt this wasn't their guy. Usually when you bring in a GM, a president of basketball operations, they usually hire the coach that they want to coach the team. You know, and I saw this play out before, even though it's a totally different sport. But when Magic and that group took over the Dodgers and Madeline was still the manager,
yep,
they said, this is our guy. A year later, Dave Roberts was hired.
Mm-hmm.
That told me Madeline wasn't their guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it goes. And people kind of took it the wrong way. It's like I was calling for Luke to get fired. I'm just stating the obvious. Usually when you bring in a GM and a new president of basketball operations, they bring in the guy they want to coach the team.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't bring in Luke Walton. You know, that was from the old regime. He was a holdover.
So who do you bring in to replace Luke Walton, Les?
That's a good question. I think that's why nothing has been done yet, because they don't want to make a hasty decision either. They've already been questioned about some of their roster moves already.
That's why I think he stays the whole season.
I don't think he's going nowhere mid-season. Lakers historically don't change coaches mid-season. Very rare that they do that. Very rare.
And tell that to Mike Brown.
That wasn't mid-season.
But if this team,
that was in the morning.
But if this team,
Mike Brown was,
if this team makes the playoffs, whether it's 8th seed, 7th seed, or whatever,
third.
Oh, but
you can
they
say,
said it was higher earlier. I said 7.
Yeah, but
go,
you know,
yeah,
that's just. But
that was before LeBron was missing a month.
But my thing is, he's done what he's supposed to do, because they improved last year. They're improving this year. They have a smart veteran, one of the all-time greats playing with the squad now. So, you know, like, to me, and we dialogued on this the other day. Like I said, to me, when they played OKC the other night, that showed me right there that it's not all about Luke. It's about them players. They have to put maximum effort every night.
Yeah, because he can't go out and make shots.
Yes, they have to put maximum effort every night, and that shows that they can.
Right.
You know, when they don't, that's on them. You know, to me, because it's like, you're a professional athlete now. You get paid to play professional sports. So the game plan is in. We've watched tape. We've gone through all that stuff. Okay, now you're on the court, perform.
Like me, I like watching.
You have to.
Oh, go ahead, Les.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say.
I was just agreeing to William's point. I agree with him on that point.
See, me, I follow LeBron's career a little bit, and when I watch, so I didn't watch the Lakers as thoroughly as I watched them this season, but from afar, I always thought that Luke Walton was a good coach. Before my Bucks hired Budenholzer this past offseason, I was like, man, if Luke Walton's fired, I wouldn't mind him being a coach of my Bucks. So I've always thought he was a good coach. And the thing that I always noticed with him is his teams, no matter who's on the roster, always play Golden State tough. He has a way of always playing Golden State tough. So I always felt that matchup is one that, you know, Golden State's not scared of anybody. Okay, I don't want to make that. I don't want to make that statement, but I think they rather see someone like Denver or Utah than they would to see the Lakers. And so I think Luke Walton is the coach for y'all. I mean, who you gonna replace him with? I think Mark Jackson is a good coach. I think he would be a good
Yeah,
fit.
but I don't think Mark's going to get a job though.
I don't either.
Just based on what we know.
Right. And who you gonna get?
What happened up
Thibodeau?
there?
And I mean, if it's not Mark Jackson, then you're talking about somebody who's is a pretty hot name assistant coach. That's what Luke was.
Which will be in the same situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what
Right.
Luke was. Luke was a hot assistant coach coming out of Golden State, and that's why. And then he was an ex-Laker, so hey, give him a shot.
But Laker fans loved Thibodeau before he went to Minnesota. So
Yeah.
do they still love him?
Well, this dude just got fired in mid-season.
I just want
he's
Luke.
too
I
hard.
just want Luke to. I just want Luke to coach the guys to their strengths. My thing is, I'm a Lonzo fan, as y'all know, and I just don't feel he coaches him to his strengths all the time. They try to make him to be something that he's not, and when you let him be
What
who
is
he
he?
is, that's when he has a good game.
Who is he?
He's not a guy that's going to stand in the corner and wait for LeBron to kick it out to him for a 3-point shot. That's not
Who
his
is
game.
he?
Listen,
Who is he?
when Lonzo plays
You know?
aggressive, that's when he's good, but he doesn't play aggressive most of the time.
And that's on him.
That's on him. It's not the coach.
And the reality,
Brandon Ingram is not the coach. It's
Right,
not the coach's
right,
fault
right.
that you do stupid stuff on the
right.
court.
and the reality to me is Lonzo plays better when LeBron's on the court. It's almost as if LeBron has empowered him. But to me, y'all team don't have shooters, right? So
Right.
Luke coaches an up-tempo, fast-break offense to allow easy shots for them to get, right?
Right.
Because y'all haven't been playing a normal LeBron-style offense. LeBron-style offense is isolated ball kick-out, kind of like what you see in Houston with James Harden.
Right.
But this season, y'all been
Right.
up-tempo, fast break, and that plays to y'all's strength
that's
because
when
they
he-
can't shoot.
That's when he's effective too, because like you said, he can't shoot and they can't shoot. Period. We don't have the personnel Golden State has.
But don't
Nobody does.
We're running the system, but we don't have that personnel. And I just think Luke sometimes gets caught up in the fact that he's running that system because that's where he came from.
They're not running
under,
that same system at all.
No,
They're not even close to running the Golden State system.
they're
No, I'm
running
talking
more.
about they're running aspects of it. They're not running the exact system. But if you look at it, NBA, everybody runs the same stuff.
The
Nobody's really
aspects
running
that
nothing
fit,
different.
yeah.
Like to me, the
know,
Lakers
so-
almost run. If y'all can remember, it's gonna sound weird, but to me, the Lakers run almost the same offensive sets as our old Rebels used to run. We couldn't really shoot well, but we
Right.
fast breaked and played defense really well. Got a lot of
Right.
transition buckets, and that's where y'all play to y'all strengths at right there. I do think that you need to
Right.
get another shooter in there, and I think that Brandon Ingram's out of place. I know a lot of Laker fans think that he's still the second coming. I don't see it. Whether LeBron's
Yeah.
on the floor or not, Brandon Ingram just don't seem like he's that guy. To me, he seems like he stops the
He's
ball.
the movable piece to me.
Yeah, he stops the ball more than anyone. Kuzma can catch, shoot, or get to the paint, but Ingram seems like he has to dribble 10 times before he make a move.
My bad. Look at Ben Simmons, man.
Yeah.
Wide open.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
for the
You
shot.
got a point there. I can agree with that. He's kind of hesitant when he comes to making a move or making a decision with the basketball. So I can
Now-
dig that. I can agree with that.
Now, let's take this back. Would you rather have Julius Randle at that spot, or right now, or Brandon Ingram? I'd rather have Julius Randle right now.
Well, I wanted us to keep Randall. I thought he would have
Exactly.
been the better fit, like you said, and I hated to see him go. But obviously, for whatever reason, Rob and Magic felt he was the piece that needed to be moved because, like you said, I guess people are seeing Ingram as the next whoever, whether it's the next KD or the next coming of whoever. They have that confidence in him for some reason. I don't know. But I rather would have kept Randall because he did everything they asked him to do. He lost weight, he lost the body fat, he put on muscle, and he improved.
And you can see it in his game right now.
Last season.
Would you be opposed
so
to?
I felt he would. Oh, go ahead.
Would you be opposed to moving Brandon Ingram for another player, whether it's someone as great as AD or even down to a Bradley Beal? Would you be opposed to moving Brandon Ingram and maybe another piece for one of those players?
Maybe You got to throw in some.
Lonzo.
That's a six piece.
I know that.
If you're going to get a Bradley Beal or AD, yeah, you're going to make the move, obviously, for a Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis.
Any of those
You're
is
gonna make the move.
Lonzo,
you're
Ingram,
gonna-
and other pieces.
So why are so many Laker fans opposed to making that move, though? Why is that?
No one's opposed to Anthony Davis.
Well,
at all.
Because games like the other night, they see the potential.
But at the beginning,
Let's see how they play tonight.
at the beginning of the season, they were trying to take Ingram, Kuzma, Lonzo, Josh Hart.
Kuzma's off the table.
Josh Hart can go too, as far as
Josh-
I'm concerned.
I believe
Josh Hart's
so.
good. I mean, he's definitely a piece you throw in.
From an outsider looking in,
I don't think.
go
I
ahead,
don't think
Les.
Lonzo or Kuzma is going anywhere unless it's for AD. They'll move Lonzo.
I
In
think
that case, but
I think
as
they'd
far
move him
as
for
anybody
Bradley
else,
Beal
I don't-
any day. I think they would move Brandon Ingram and Lonzo
I'm
for
not
Bradley Beal
sure.
any day.
I
I am.
I was looking at an article on some potential trades and pieces for Bradley Beal, and it would have been Brandon Ingram, maybe a KCP in a first, or Brandon Ingram and
If Washington will take that,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, but because you're getting Brandon Ingram, so they're losing.
That
they're-
first is what they want.
They want that first, and they want to take Bradley Beal's contract off their books because Brandon Ingram is only
Right,
getting paid
right.
like $7 million. So now they can start a rebuild.
Right.
yeah.
But I mean, I just I,
'Cause they
I
can't
just-
move Wall at all.
right. So I just see so many Laker fans who are still opposed to even doing that. And
For Bradley Beal, man, take Bradley Beal.
Yeah, because of games the other night. They see the potential of them, but then they'll poo-poo against
Wait,
like
how many
the
points
Nets.
did Brandon Ingram have
2.
in that game?
I think he had a couple free throws, so he may have had like 5 points.
He had
right?
one basket, and that was in overtime. So if the game didn't go in overtime, he wouldn't have had a basket at all. And I like Ingram a lot. I
well-
think he does have potential. But, no, if you can get an all-star for him and another piece, you make that trade any day. For a proven
Well,
Bradley Beal, who
yeah.
is
Well,
actually
like
an
you said,
underrated
we'll-
player
we'll
because he
see,
plays
I
in
guess.
Washington.
Yeah, that's because nobody really gets to see him as far as us out here on the West Coast, unless you got NBA League Pass and you can watch all the games. But
And if you don't, quit talking about
you
the
know, just
NBA
on
with
the-
us.
you know, just on a national scale, people don't see him on a nightly basis. So it's like when people say on the East Coast, well, the West Coast games come on too late, so we don't watch. So we don't know how good those teams are. Okay. If you don't watch, yeah, you can't really
Well,
say
I live on the West Coast. I
how
don't have
good
that problem.
somebody is.
We live on
you
the
know,
West Coast,
but-
so we don't have that problem. We can see all the
You know.
games.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But like you said, we'll see what happens. Like Sherm said, yeah, you'll give up Alonzo, Ingram for a Bradley Beal or AD. I'm pretty sure any general manager would do that. You know, it's just a matter of what does Magic and Rock want to do. From what I'm seeing and hearing, they're not trying to commit too much money to anybody until this free agency comes up. They still under the impression that they're going to get a big time free agent during free agency.
Yeah,
You
but
know, that's the
I
only
think-
reason why they're not taking on.
But what makes them
massive
think that
contracts.
though? I guess like I'm looking at this past offseason, and to me, and I've posted this on the page, I think that Magic Johnson is not the right person in that position for y'all for this reason. Because Magic Johnson still lives in that 80s era where LA was the preeminent destination for anybody who wanted to win a championship. So if you think about some of the
Right.
comments he's made, he said, if you
Right.
really want to be a champion, you'll come to LA. Well, you can't think like that. Think Alabama Crimson Tide go out and recruit everybody. They win championships, but they still go
Right.
out and recruit everybody. But the Lakers are they almost have a, oh, I'm not recruiting you. If you want to win championships, you'll come here. Like they're the pretty girl in the bar. No, you were the pretty girl in the bar in high school.
Right.
Now you just a girl. You got to go out there and
Right.
recruit.
Still pretty hot, though.
You ain't been in the
Still pretty
playoffs
high.
in years. When's the last time the Lakers made the playoffs? You haven't.
2013 to be exact. But,
Right. So
you know,
we're
that's
5,
that's
6
another
years.
story.
Right. So what I'm saying is that these players have been recruited their whole lives from high school through AAU through college. So now they get pro and now they're real stars and now all of a sudden they're not worthy of
Yeah,
being
but
recruited.
I don't think they don't recruit anybody. Magic Johnson got
Right.
fined for recruiting Paul George too early, so they definitely are recruiting people. If Magic Johnson wasn't there,
Right.
LeBron James would not be there right now. He was not going to a team with Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss
No.
leading the
Well,
way.
No,
yeah,
that
not with
wasn't-
Mitch.
Yeah, that
You're
wasn't
right.
going to happen.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
That
I
wasn't
agree.
going to happen.
No.
No.
I agree with that. I agree with
No.
that. But
But anyway, man, like I said, I agree with you on that point, Sherm, as far as, yeah, they might want to step back a little bit and reevaluate the way of thinking, but you don't want to get too far off of that because the Lakers are the Lakers, no matter what. They're going to be talked about. It's kind of like Dallas Cowboys. Everybody hates them, but they're still going to be talked about. You know, they're just one of those franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of postseason success or whatever we
Talk about us,
crown
Quan.
them as, you know, they're gonna be talked about, and the Lakers are kind of in that same boat. You know, they're one of those franchises that no matter what happens, they're gonna always be a topic of discussion.
Well, they've won 2
And now that you
championships in the last 10 years too. So there's a difference. There's a reason
Yeah.
to still talk about
Yeah, it's a little
the Lakers.
different.
you mean
Yeah,
that
it's a little different.
two
They've won.
championships in the beginning of that decade era?
That's
though.
fine.
To me,
They've won 5 since.
to
since
me as a
2000.
fan, I think they should, at this point, they should leave it alone and wait till LeBron comes back, pick up where they left off from that Golden State game.
Yeah, I don't
And
think they're gonna
maybe
make any
and maybe
changes.
during the trade deadline try to get a shooter. And then next year you
Yeah,
attack
that'll
free
be the
agency.
only thing
And
they'll
then next
do.
year you attack
Yeah.
free agency hard. You know, during the offseason.
That's why for me,
Yeah, I
if I'm
don't see
a
any major.
if I'm a
trades going
Laker
on with
fan,
him.
I would really pursue this Bradley Beal thing because you would have him secured for the next 3 years. His contract and LeBron contract
Yeah, that's
expires
true.
around the same time. You got 3 years of LeBron and Bradley Beal. Even if you don't sign a free agent in the offseason, you have an emerging Kuzma, LeBron, and Bradley Beal. Is it enough to beat Golden State? I don't know if any team has enough to beat Golden State. But Golden State also has a propensity of getting injured. And
Right.
and you never and
Right.
since the Lakers already play Golden State tough anyway, you never know a game here or there, and you got a big shot maker like a Bradley Beal. At the very least, to
Right.
me, that's a 6-game series. And when you get that far into a series, you never know one game swings another. So I would pursue
Yeah,
that, and then
anything
you
can happen, yeah.
right, and you still got cap room to go pursue a Kawhi or a Kyrie or a Kemba. I would go that route, and you're buying less because you don't have to give up as many pieces to get Bill as you
Or
would.
Giannis.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Don't steal
I
his
guess, yeah,
boy
you
away
got a-
from him.
You have a point there.
Oh, you want to
You
punch?
have a point there. You know, you buying low,
like
low, and you're not really taking a lot of risk. You know.
right, and he fits. He's a shooter. He fits. So that I would be talking about this with my Bucks, but we ain't got cap space or the assets to trade anybody. So, but we'll live with our first
Right.
place, and the best record in the league right now, though.
Well, let's pick it.
Yeah,
We're
that always works.
we appreciate the phone call. Let's pick it. I want you to listen. As soon as you get off the phone, I did some research while you guys were talking on a couple of my posts from months ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you know something in a minute, man. We appreciate the phone call. Hub City in the building, man. Compton's
Yeah.
finest right there, man. Let's pick it in the building, man.
Yeah.
So back in November 21st, 2018, I posted, don't see what you guys see in this Brandon Ingram kid. He's not that good to me. Hashtag my opinion. Now all of a sudden, people are starting to see that maybe he's not that good, right? Or I'm seeing Laker fans, well, we want to keep our young core together. But what is Brandon Ingram really bringing to the table?
I think the thing is, you're not trading him for a Kelly Oubre. You're talking about trading him for a potential all-star or all-star. So I think he's a good player. He does have potential if you keep him on in the right system, see how he can grow. But the whole KD thing was always stupid to me just because he's a skinny, tall dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never had any of the skills KD had in college. So that was always funny to me. But you're talking about trading him for potentially for an all-star. Then of course.
Bradley Beal. November 7th, 2018. Ingram is not that good, Laker fans. Or should we give him more time to develop?
He's 21.
He has time to develop. it's just if you can get a Bradley Beal for him, you do that deal.
And he could develop on another team.
Yeah. Go over there.
And he'll go to another team even if he's traded for Bradley Beal. He'll go to Washington. He can be the man there along with John Wall, and he still probably will average 16. He may even creep up to 20 points a game. He may have a 30-point game here or there, and then you'll get Laker fans if he is traded like, "See, I told you we should have kept him." The same way they do with D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you'll see D'Angelo get a 30 or 40-point game a couple times a season. And it's all of a sudden we should have kept him.
November 14th, 2018.
He's gloating.
Since everyone is mad at LeBron still, can Laker fans please address Brandon Ingram's play?
This was after the season started, huh?
All these are, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he is not an unmovable piece. Lonzo Ball isn't either.
I've said that he's a movable piece. To me, he's movable. Yeah. Especially for, like you said, an all-star caliber type Bradley Beal.
I was in a chat group with a lot of Laker fans over the summer while all these transactions were happening, and I kept saying I keep Kuzma over Ingram all day. None of them agreed with me.
Mm-hmm.
October 23, 2017.
Oh,
You've been
really
archiving.
back in the day
Right.
when I was
I'm
young.
Archiving.
Like a bug. While it was the Lakers radio show for about 15 minutes, I was archiving. October 23rd, 2017.
It was 20 minutes.
I know it's only 3 games in, but please explain to me what Lonzo Ball is bringing to the table that D'Angelo Russell didn't. Still.
A lot more unselfish.
Better defender.
Way better defender.
Yeah. I like Lonzo. I don't love him, but I think he's a quality defender. He can get up into, again, I keep going back to Golden State. He's a problem for Steph Curry a lot of nights. Steph going to do what he does anyway, but he poses a problem. People forget Lonzo Ball is 6'7".
If Lonzo would be more consistent, that's what everybody's problem is.
That's the whole thing.
He's not consistent, though.
Consistency is the key, man. If you ain't,
Because he has those good games every 2 or 3 games.
yes,
Every 3 or 4.
we need to have those every night.
But if he's a 10, 8, and 8 guy, 10 points, 8 boards, and even 5 or so assists, if he's the 5th option on your team, that's pretty solid. The way he defends, that's pretty solid.
He needs to be higher than that, though.
If he's the 4th or 5th option.
But he still needs to be in the teens scoring, 15, 16, 8 and 8. 15, 8 and 8.
That's asking a lot for him consistently.
No, he's done it.
When?
That's the type of player he is.
It depends on the pecking order. If LeBron is there and you were to acquire another scorer along with Kuzma, 15 points may be hard to come by for Lonzo.
10 or 12, I think, is good if he's getting double. He should average 10 assists a game.
Right.
That's what I want to see from him. 10 assists, the 8 rebounds, 10 points.
And him being a big guard, I'm saying 16 points because he can get in the lane with his dribbling skills and shoot floaters, pull up jumpers. That can get him to 16 points.
Yeah, a couple fast
Yeah,
break.
and then your fast, don't try to be a shooter because that's what you're not.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you might hit a jumper, a 3 here or there, but don't consistently go to that. Your go-to should be your size.
Mm-hmm.
Use your size. Get to the basket.
But he's not. His aggressiveness is good when he wants to do it. He doesn't always do it all the time. It seems he's most comfortable and most aggressive when he's playing alongside LeBron James. I know Les brought up a point. We need him for the fast breaking and and things like that. Yeah, that's good for that second unit because that first unit, LeBron James runs that break all day.
And I'll say this too, because a lot of people will say, like Les even said, and I slightly disagree with you, Les, where you say the ball moves better when Lonzo runs the show. I don't think so. I don't think Lonzo is a playmaking guard. So therefore, I think that he's more of a, if LeBron were to play that point, and yeah, you can kick it to Lonzo where he's catching it and shooting in rhythm because he doesn't pull up off the dribble and shoot well. So if he can catch and shoot or slash along with the fast breaks, I think that's when Lonzo is at his best.
And that pull-up jumper is something that he needs to develop.
Right. And
because that could be a valuable weapon.
Right.
That can be a valuable weapon. You can see KD killed with that in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And in the finals.
Right.
That pull-up jumper in the lane, that was very valuable. Yeah, them twos count. But it ain't all about threes.
Right now, he's at his best when he's catching and shooting, but not necessarily getting everybody else. He can get them involved, so I think he plays very well off the ball, but as a secondary handler, almost like a Scottie Pippen was with the Bulls. Wasn't a great shooter, wasn't the primary ball handler, but can handle it if needed to, but then still slash and make other shots too. I think he'll play well in that role.
Well,
any more archivable?
Oh, I got plenty.
He's been waiting for this moment.
Nah, I got plenty. I'm gonna just bring it up on the next show.
Don't wait till Goose get back.
Look, Kyrie Irving was in the news earlier this week, saying that he called LeBron James and basically apologized.
Did one of y'all call Sean first before we get into this segment?
Nah, Sean we've been had this show for 9 years. Sean ain't even been in the studio once.
I tried to call him on Facebook Messenger, but
why couldn't you reach him?
Because he's blocked.
Mr. Telephone Man.
He blocked more people than Mutombo then. I didn't know when you block a person, you can't see what they post or you can't see nothing.
So when people tag him, I see his name, but it's not like the black.
That's why,
and it also means you don't want to see they.
And that's why I don't get. That's why I don't get into arguments with people about sports on Facebook because, certain people will go, well, who said that? I ain't never seen that. Well, because you blocked them all. You can't see the stuff that's being said feloniously. Every single day is something felonious being said.
It's funny, man.
Tragic.
I love Sean, man. That's my little brother, man. I think a lot of stuff he does is to be petty for petty's sake, to stir the pot a little bit. But it is funny how hard he does go for Kyrie when it's versus LeBron. So again, as Dre was saying, what happened with Kyrie this week? If y'all have been sleeping under a rock this week, go ahead, Dre.
Well, Kyrie made a phone call to LeBron James and apologized for
wanting to be the man.
Not understanding what it took to be a leader of a young team. Kudos to Kyrie Irving for manning up and saying, what I did was wrong and I made a mistake. I mean, it takes a man to admit his mistakes, right, or his faults, right? So you can't be mad at him for that. But I guess now, since he said that, to all you people out there that said, LeBron James threw him on the bus and got him traded, but it come to find out, Kyrie had a lot to do with.
Well, there was another story about it too, though. It was the other side of that was saying Kyrie had a problem with LeBron, and he didn't. He was on First Take saying that. I don't have a problem with LeBron. I just want to go.
Yeah, I think everybody knew he just wanted to be the man of his own team.
I want to be the man.
And if y'all haven't been around or if you knew to let the ball bounce, obviously LeBron is a hot topic every day. But this Kyrie LeBron, when Kyrie was traded a year ago, I mean, that dominated the headlines and dominated our timeline for weeks, if not months. So everybody drew a hard line in the sand, whether you were Team LeBron or Team Kyrie, and it was either LeBron stabbed Kyrie in the back, and Kyrie couldn't take it anymore, and he had to just go. He couldn't take it. Or it was, it was them fighting over the ball, or Kyrie just wanted to be the man, or LeBron did something to him, or some different storylines in it. But what Bill said is Kyrie just wanted to be the man. But when that was suggested, people were like, well, no, he just didn't want to be with LeBron. Or LeBron was upset that Kyrie was getting too much shine. It was all these different storylines. So what Dre said is important, that Kyrie said, look, I was young, I was immature, and I didn't understand. I just wanted to be the man. And when and I just got voted into being an all-star the season before LeBron came. Then LeBron comes, and now all of a sudden he's the man? I'm the man. And LeBron gets all of the credit while everybody else gets some blame. And Kyrie was like, look, I just wanted to be the man. I didn't care about championships and longevity. I just wanted to be the man. And a lot of us said that was Kyrie's feelings, but others would say, no, it's because he wanted to be away from LeBron, not because he wanted to be the man, but because he got stabbed in the back. and that's what came about.
Your guy, Dre Bailey.
Sherman the building.
Mr. Controversy himself, Bill Logan, man. Hot today. We got another phone caller, man. What's your name? What's your question?
Man, you know what it is. It's your boy Goose Thomas, man, reporting live.
What it do?
Hey, real quick, man, how y'all doing?
Man, look.
If y'all didn't know, Goose is out in Orlando.
Oh, boy, that man look. That man look.
So y'all don't know, Goose and his team is in Orlando. It's the national championship flag football tournament worth like $30,000. That's where Goose is right now. Oh, $60,000 tournament.
Yeah, man. We got whistle whipped a little bit here, man. We just lost to a DC team, 6-0.
AMC?
We played two. No, these were the Rebels. DC Rebels.
Man, those DC teams are pretty good, man.
I whistle whipped a little bit, but it is what it is, man. We finna cut out, man, and actually enjoy ourselves, man. Get this fight. And relax and enjoy each other a little bit, man. That's what we gonna do.
That's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
Regroup
you played
tomorrow.
one game? Just one game?
No, we played three. We played three. Lost one 3-0, lost one 6-0, and we lost one 18-6.
So you lost all three?
We lost all three, man.
Dang.
We lost all. Yeah. I mean, these are the best flag football teams in the country, man.
It's 60,000 on the line, yeah.
These are the absolute best flag football teams in the country, hands down. No question about it. So when you come here, man, you better come to play.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
how's the weather out there, man?
I heard y'all talking about the LeBron Kyrie thing, man, and I tend to agree with what you were saying, Sherm. It was just it was an immaturity thing on Kyrie's part, man, and he. I mean, sometimes it takes a while for us to realize that we acting like babies, and it took Kyrie to get to this Boston team with a team full of young dudes, him being one of the vets on the team. He like, yo, now I realize what LeBron was talking about. And he had to call and apologize to him. I think that's just part of being a man.
Yeah.
I look at it as a man up moment. That was a man up moment on his part. Kudos to him.
So
kudos to him for manning up.
What do you think about some of the people on our timeline saying that no, this is just a ploy because LeBron still backstabbed him?
Right. Well, I mean, we all seem to. Well, not we all, but most people seem to think that LeBron's the GM and he controls this, he controls that. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you got billionaires in place to do that, man. LeBron ain't doing that. Now they may consult him, but at the end of the day, man, the decisions rest with the billionaires.
Pretty much.
Very true. Very true.
And that's what he's doing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can speculate. You can speculate all you want to. Oh, LeBron, he had a hand in making a decision. No one really knows that. No one really knows that.
Well, you could see billionaire overtime, $300 million overtime. Dan Snyder really didn't care about LeBron anyway.
No, of course not.
He didn't care about LeBron because, if he cared about LeBron, LeBron would still be there, and he'd get him the pieces that he needs to,
No doubt
keep
about
that thing rolling.
Keep him competitive.
But
Yeah.
we know the Cavaliers for Dan Snyder is like a hobby to him.
Dan Gilbert.
This dude owns Quicken Loans, the highest, the most successful mortgage company in America.
Mhm.
So Cleveland Brown,
and all of America.
Yeah.
He does not care.
no,
Hey, but you
It's
got
a
to think
hobby.
about it. Look, it's funny because Jay-Z said it in a lyric. I don't know if y'all remember. He said the Nets can go 0 for 82, and I look at you like this is gravy.
yeah,
Yep.
He
yeah,
said it,
yeah,
and he was a partial owner.
yeah.
He only owned like 1% of the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he's saying that, what you think the Russian boy that owned everything saying?
That-
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So-
true.
Come on, we got to think about that, man, and put things in perspective, man. At the end of the day,
And having LeBron on that team for as long as he did have him made him even more billions.
Yeah. I mean,
no question.
you see the merchandise, like think
Yes.
about it. The
Man.
Cavaliers were a profitable team.
Mhm.
Even with one of the top payrolls, they were still a profitable team, one of the most profitable teams,
Yeah,
just with LeBron there. So you're right. If Dan Gilbert truly valued him, then he would have he would have bowed down to it. I'm not gonna say bowed down, but would have done what he asked for. No different than we watched the Bulls have not been relevant since Jordan left because they would not cave in to Michael Jordan's wishes, and they wanted their own team back. And we see Dan
Right.
Gilbert has his own team back, and
Good luck with that.
they're the worst team in the league right
Well, they beat the Lakers.
yeah, they did.
It's
Yeah, they
the
did.
same with Mickey Harrison. When LeBron and Chris Bosh and when they made their run to 4 straight NBA finals, it was the same thing. It wasn't anything different. Nothing different there. Same thing. They might have been above the luxury tax, but do you think that Mickey came out in the red?
No,
Negative. He was
right.
always
Oh no,
Yeah,
oh no.
the black. When you making the playoffs, you're gonna always be in the black, bro.
Yeah.
Always.
yeah.
You have to know that. You're gonna always be in the black.
Facts.
It's money maker.
Hey, Goose,
Period.
Goose, Tamika Bolton
Yeah.
wanted to let you know to be safe out there too, man. Want to get that in.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Mika, man. Faithful right there, man. Shout out. Appreciate you, ma. Big time.
Go
Yeah,
ice
man,
up.
but,
Go ice up. Get your steak dinner or something.
Hey,
Hey, look.
who y'all
look,
got
Get
tomorrow?
your get your cup of
we
Cuervo.
might not even make it to tomorrow, man.
Who
We
you-
may not
who-
even make it to tomorrow.
Who?
Yeah, we may not make it to tomorrow. Yeah, I think we had to win this game to even make it into tomorrow.
Man, don't tell me y'all flew
And we-
3,000 miles for this.
3,000 miles and did not make it to Sunday.
But you'll be
And if
there
we
till
did-
Tuesday.
we did-
Enjoy yourself.
We didn't have to play all day. We didn't have to play like back-to-back games.
You
2,
ever see
3, 4,
Penitentiary?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Sure, you ever see
Yeah, it'd have been
Penitentiary?
bad.
Mhm.
What he said,
Bruh.
run it to me right, Dad. Run it to me right, Dad. Don't tell me. Run it to me right, Dad.
Hey, man, like I said, these are the best flag football teams in the country, and we came out here and saw why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what we stand, man.
I mean,
You know
and
what we-
you got to think about it. A lot of these players in flag, if y'all don't play flag, a lot of these dudes went D1,
Bruh.
play in
Yeah.
Canada, stuff like that. They
Oh,
they just not
Oh,
in the
yeah.
league, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
were
Oh, no.
great players
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent.
And
excellent
still in
corners
great
out
shape.
Here, excellent rooms out here. It's
not a
good football,
game.
man. Not
Yeah.
a game. It might be a game, but it ain't a game.
Nah. Nah.
For real.
Well, enjoy that
Real
good.
for
Well,
real.
enjoy that good weather, that good scenery. Have
Yeah.
smoke a cigar. I know you probably brought a couple
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with you,
I'm going to do that. I'm
Yeah.
going to do that. No question.
and enjoy yourself,
Yeah,
man.
man.
We Can't wait for you to get back.
You know I'm a geek in real life, man. So we gonna hit Kennedy Space Center on Monday, man.
That's what's up.
I gotta go.
There
I
it
gotta
is.
go to the rocket ship.
You see a geek.
There
I
it
gotta go to
is.
the rocket ship. You already know. But yeah, this Broner Pacquiao fight, real quick. I don't know if
Yeah,
you guys got to
yeah.
it or not.
Yeah.
Broner Pacquiao fight, man. My wish is for Manny Pacquiao to dismantle Adrian Broner
It's not
and
gonna
set him up forever. Now, do I think it's going to happen like that?
Nah.
No. I think it's actually going to be a good fight. I think Pacquiao wins late,
Mm.
I don't think he's just gonna dismantle him though. I don't think he's just gonna annihilate him like Keno did. It's gonna be a good fight. I think we're going into the championship rounds on this.
I don't want to see that.
Really do.
I don't want to see that because I don't want to hear no more Pacquiao versus Floyd. Because if Pacquiao wins this fight, that's what we're gonna hear for the next year. Pacquiao versus Floyd. So I don't want Pacquiao to even win just for that one reason.
Well, then after this, you're gonna hear Broner versus Floyd.
I'm like picking the Chargers against the Patriots. I do. I want him to beat the brakes off that dude.
That's gonna hurt.
Broner, man, Broner has a problem.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say Broner had a good camp. Well, everybody says they have a good camp.
Has anybody ever said they had a bad camp?
I ain't heard a whole lot of people say they had a bad camp, man.
Right.
I think people just really want to see Broner lose and shut his mouth up, man, because he say some
he ain't gonna shut up. But...
He say some real disrespectful, ignorant things, man. That he just calm down.
And I don't know what I don't know what that exchange was between him and Al Bernstein. I don't necessarily follow Al Bernstein per se. On Twitter. Things like that. I usually follow. I follow Dan Raphael, who's the ESPN boxing analyst. I follow more so than anybody because I just like his truth. I like he tells the honest truth. But whatever Twitter battle they had, there's no cause for what Adrian Broner said to Al Bernstein at that press conference. None whatsoever. If you YouTube that. And hear the words he said to Al Bernstein, like it was ridiculous, man.
Karma is a bad lady. That's all I got to say.
Man, yeah.
Mm. Well,
all them bad words you said, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens tonight, man. I got Manny Pacquiao though.
Yeah, I got
late. I got him late. Yep, probably 11th round.
I think I'm gonna go with Broner in this one. I think Broner squeaks this one out.
Okay. Well, you never know, man. I mean, they fighting at the MGM. I got to see who's actually judging. I haven't looked at that yet to see. Hear this card, we might get something different.
Yeah.
If Adelaide Bird, remember that name, Adelaide Bird is anywhere near this fight.
That's right.
You might see something different. If you don't know who Adelaide Bird is, you can Google her.
That was the Canelo fight, right?
Look at some of the decisions and some of the scorecards she's put forth in championship boxing matches. You'd be appalled at what you see.
Tragic.
You really would.
Tragic.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate the phone call, Goose.
Absolutely.
I'm jealous, man. I wish I was out in Florida right about now, man.
Man.
Hey, just a little Orlando sun, man. It's 80 degrees, man, out here during the day.
80 degrees.
Lord.
80.
Shut your mouth.
80. Right now, it's like 70.
Mouth.
Right now. Right here at the fields. Everybody enjoying themselves, man, having a good time. It's a nice little breeze coming through here. It's some good football being played, man. We just enjoying ourselves, man.
Appreciate it, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Get back to Vegas safe travels, man. Traveling grace.
Absolutely, man.
Yes,
Mark Gray says what up, man. That's big LTBB fam.
Yeah.
Mark
man.
Gray said what up.
What up, man?
What up, Big Mark?
What it do?
Yeah. Hey, man. So yeah, man. Y'all enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy the rest of the show. 159 in the building, man. Appreciate you, homeboy. Shout out Girl Chat Sports. Shout out Unnamed Sports. Man, shout out Guerilla Cross Radio, man. We appreciate y'all, man.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate it. Goose out there, man. They went 0-3, but their spirits are still high.
That's tough, man. That's tough. Yeah, but some of I still play flag and stuff like that. We in the championship game next week, but the level of competition that Goose them went and played out there for $60,000. Those are the best of the best of the best. In fact, one of the teams I think that they lost to, I asked about that DC team, won a big tournament where they went against Michael Vick's team and beat the brakes off of Michael Vick them team.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, they no joke out there, man. Talent is
No.
real.
Oh, no.
And a fun fact, real quick, about the Kyrie and LeBron call. Do you know who LeBron was with when Kyrie called him?
Wow.
He was having dinner with Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the
That's still friends.
The Cavaliers were in town to play the Lakers, and Kevin Love and LeBron were out to dinner at that time.
Mm.
But it's interesting that you brought it up. Though.
Funny.
Yeah, yeah. So
That goes to show you how much these current players like to be around each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More than back in the 80s.
And how much the
Yeah.
media blows it up like they hate each other.
You know, KD is not a hated player by a lot of the players. He's more hated by fans than
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
You know?
And media, yeah.
Yeah, and media, and probably Westbrook.
And
But
brushes,
everybody else,
things like that.
And
Yeah.
brushes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna tell you this: DeMarcus Cousins made his debut last night. He only played 14, 15 minutes. Only scored 14, 15 points.
14 minutes.
Only, and he fouled out. But that is all the minutes that he needs to play for that team. 15 minutes,
That's it.
15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 fouls. Good looking.
And go sit down.
And that's
got the
averaging
rest.
more than their 2 centers that they replace in and out. So that's a good look. That didn't do nothing but upgrade a just now getting started Golden State Warriors team.
Man.
Wow.
Boogie is basically replacing Draymond Green, in my opinion. And what they're going to end up doing, because Boogie shoots better than Draymond, he handles the ball just like him, but he's much bigger, right? He's going to be a goon just like Draymond as well. But what's going to end up happening, this Golden State team, I think KD and Clay are gonna re-up.
Yep, just like
And-
I
and
said,
they're
they're
gonna
not going nowhere, man.
And they're going to find another player for Draymond's spot who can probably shoot and stretch as well. This team ain't going nowhere, man.
I keep telling y'all, man.
We going to look back 20 years from now and be like, yeah, that was the greatest dynasty run ever.
So this team has the potential to be the New England Patriots of the NBA for the next 10 years. 15. Let's say 10 years.
KD not going nowhere, neither is Clay.
They're going to
Steph
re-up
could,
for
though.
about 4.
Steph ain't going nowhere.
Steph could go on the injury list for a very long time.
That's about it.
Right, but he
So that's why it's not going to be 10 or 15 years.
that's a long time in NBA years because the contract's about 4 or 5 years. But it's been a 5-year run.
Yeah, and this team's not breaking up.
And it's going to be another 4 years.
But Draymond's gone, right?
Draymond's going to be gone, but they got Boogie now.
If he wants to get paid.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to go nowhere.
I do. They can't afford him, and they're going to re-up Boogie next season.
Yeah, because I don't see Boogie going nowhere either.
Why would he? To do what? He's been the man in other places. Now
This is making his job a lot
If
easier.
somebody wants to give him 100-something mil, he's not staying in Golden State for 10.
I don't know. I because he's been paid.
Has he? Has he? Check. He hasn't yet.
I'm just saying
He hasn't
made
had
money,
that big contract yet.
but he's been playing in Sacramento, in New Orleans. He hasn't had. He's never even won a playoff
I feel
series.
it. He has been in the playoffs.
Right.
Well, he's going to get a ring this year
Right.
if
And
they
so
stay healthy.
I think that's going to end up being more valuable for him, especially even though he looks better off as Achilles. It's like, you know what? I can be the man and not and make money and not do anything, or I can be part of a championship squad where my name is still relevant.
I mean, it depends where he goes and who pays him that money. He could still get on a potential championship squad. What if a team like the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard go and go after him?
Yeah.
The Clippers are the Clippers, and they're always going to be the Clippers.
Maybe.
No, not with Jerry West over there.
Yeah, okay.
Not with Jerry West over there. That dude is a magician when it comes to free agents.
Okay.
And Kawhi Leonard's going there. Maybe Jimmy Butler. So you have a point because they can acquire Kawhi and Jimmy Butler. They probably need to try to keep Tobias Harris, but then you're right. They can
To
get a
buy, turn down an extension.
That's why I said they probably need to try to keep him, but that's still
They're the Clippers,
a
man.
good squad.
They're the Clippers. We're talking about the same Clippers team that lost by 23 the other night against Golden State
Yeah,
Warriors.
but that's the Golden State. We used to say Golden State.
If
is Golden
Cousins
State.
stays with Golden State, it's going to be another 1-year contract, and then he's going to want his payday after that. He's not the type of player because he hasn't made that big contract yet in the league. Coming off an injury, he's going to have to get that money
And I don't
sometime,
see him
and Golden
turning
State
down.
can't pay him that.
At all.
And I don't see him turning down.
Nope.
He went into this year knowing like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
going to go win my chip this year, do what I can with them.
A lot of fans believe that KD could be on his way out, or Klay Thompson, and
Klay's not it.
I have said this for about a year and some change now. They're not going nowhere. They too comfortable.
I think
over there.
KD would probably go before Klay
Definitely.
KD ain't going nowhere.
because that is the perfect system for Klay. Klay can't be the man on any other
That's the
team.
perfect system for KD too.
Yeah, but KD can be the man.
It's a
He's
perfect
already
system for everybody.
Yeah,
But is he the man?
we've seen him be the man in OKC.
But have we seen it in Golden State? Because
Yeah.
Steph is the man in that
Yeah,
team.
we've seen it in the playoffs, in the finals.
Two-time Finals
We've
MVP.
seen that.
He's not going nowhere, man. He too comfy.
It
He
really
ain't
depends.
He ain't gotta do what he did in
just
OKC.
saying. You saying he ain't going nowhere. What I'm saying is KD would be most likely to leave before Klay would. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Clay ain't going nowhere.
Nah, Klay ain't going
That's
nowhere.
perfect for Klay. He can
Yeah.
roam around,
Hide out.
one dribble, shoot, get 50 points on three
But if
dribbles.
But if KD,
You
if that could be perfect for KD too, I don't see him going nowhere either. They would get rid of Draymond Green before they get rid of anybody else on that team.
And I think they might be sick of Draymond Green's antics, to be honest.
I agree. I think Draymond's gone.
They
regardless.
need that
and-
toughness.
well,
They need that toughness
That's
what's-
Boogie Cousins now, though. That's his role.
for 1 year though.
They're not gonna pay him $200 million. They're not gonna pay Draymond $200
Oh
million.
no, what team's gonna pay him $200 million?
Nobody. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So he's gonna be out regardless.
And as soon as Draymond Green knows that he's not a $200 million person, he's not gonna enter that type
Draymond
of.
knows that now.
Exactly. He's not gonna.
Let's hope him and his agent know that because
Yeah.
we've seen players that don't know that. We've
That's
seen
true.
players that don't know that.
Look, KD's an enigma because nobody saw KD going to Golden State beforehand. KD moves very quietly. You'll see him making power moves. We may see KD in Boston.
He ain't going to Boston.
Why not? That's where he was going before they did the.
And he's trying to get as many rings as possible, and the only place he could do that right now is Golden State.
And they're going to a brand new arena next year.
Right. That's why I think he's staying. I think the money's on him staying.
Yeah.
But I can see him joining Kawhi and going to the Clippers. I can see him going to Boston. But wherever he goes,
I can
it's
see
not gonna be-
Kawhi leaving Boston and joining LA.
Who? You mean
Toronto.
Kyrie?
Oh,
Kyrie.
Yeah. Possible.
A lot of people been saying that. I've been like, hold on. So you mean to tell me that Kyrie Irving will leave the Boston Celtics to go join the Los Angeles Lakers to play with a guy that he could not stand and that backstabbed him? That makes a lot of sense,
But-
Laker fans.
But it wasn't that he got backstabbed or can't stand.
Well, according to Sean,
We
it
already
was.
know that. We already know that. So let's stop pushing that narrative.
Love you, bruh.
Please. Dude just wanted to be the man somewhere else. That's all it was.
Okay, well, if he wanted to be with that being said, if he wants to be the man of his own team,
Stay in Boston.
stay in Boston, why would he ever come over to the Los Angeles
I
Lakers?
thought that's Jason Tatum's team. That's what everybody tells me. Jason Tatum is the man on that team, right? I don't know.
He was last year.
I just
he
hear
was
that.
he was last
I
year in the
just hear that.
playoffs.
In the playoffs.
He's struggling.
Right,
He's
but-
struggling this year.
He is. And that's the crazy thing about it because he's struggling when Kyrie's on the court. Some
It's
dynamics
Hayward.
just don't
It's the-
fit. But
it's the-
Hayward comes off the bench.
Yes, but Tatum feels that Hayward, he's just better than Hayward. That's just his feeling,
He is.
which means he should be getting the bulk of the minutes, not
But-
Hayward. And then Hayward's getting more of the fourth quarter, end of game minutes, and your boy Tatum is sitting on that young bench. That's not a good look.
Tatum is an ISO player too.
So you mean the
Just
greatest
like
coach in the
Kyrie.
NBA is sitting Jason Tatum on the bench in the fourth quarter?
Yeah,
That's
for
a great
Hayward.
coach right there.
Yeah, well, who's getting paid more though?
That's a great coach.
Who's getting paid more?
It doesn't matter. That's a great
Hayward
coach.
or Tatum?
Well, Hayward's
You
getting
always-
paid more
you
than
always-
any of them.
Do you always play who gets paid first?
Should
Exactly.
You should.
So, with this being said, let's not lock the Boston Celtics for going to the Eastern Conference Finals for the next couple of years. Because guess what? When Tatum's contract is up, I don't think he's going to be in Boston.
Well, he still got about 3 more years. The problem with Boston,
It depends on what Kyrie does this summer too, though.
and it's not a big problem, but the problem with them is all their players are ISO players who need the ball to create.
Yep.
Jason Tatum, he can catch and shoot, but he likes to dribble, handle, and then create a shot. We definitely know that's what Kyrie's game is.
But we saw what they did when Kyrie went off with those assists the other
Exactly, because you had a Terry Rozier who can dish and distribute.
He's
in the
out
paint.
of there too.
Right. And he's a free agent. That's
Yep.
why. So
Scary,
even though
man.
Kyrie was talking about the apology thing, what I think the one thing that Kyrie doesn't realize is that these players look at him differently than the Cavs looked at LeBron, because LeBron had won championships. They never did anything. These Boston teams, they're saying, look, we were damn near better without you. So not that they're better players, but as a team, we accomplished a lot without you. So what are you really saying here, bro? Because we, especially as someone like Terry Rozier, who was balling, and now he's back on the bench.
But were they better without him, or did they just have a good run?
They just had a good run.
They had a good-
that's
but-
what I say.
But how do you separate the two? Listen,
For the young players, I don't think the young players can't separate that. I don't think
That's
they
my
know
point.
that yet.
That's my point. They're young players, so they just know. And again, going back to what Kyrie was like, look, I was an all-star without you, LeBron, but team success wasn't there. But this Boston team is saying, we were a great team while you were gone.
And right now, they're 5th in the East.
Right. Whereas they were number 2 in the East last season and Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Still early, though. Still early.
But Toronto got better. Milwaukee got better. So you have 2 teams on top of the East that they're not walkthrough. So
and now you have the whole complement of the team this year, because you didn't have Gordon Hayward after the first game last year. Then you have, those other guys coming through now, and it's like they still haven't gelled all the way like they were playing in the playoffs last year. So it's kind of a drop off a little bit.
Yeah, and it's gonna take some time to get that team chemistry back. You're adding 2 guys that missed significant time last year into the starting, and into a starting role, and one into the first man off the bench.
Then a struggling guy that wasn't playing lights out in the playoffs last year.
Right.
Tatum.
Right.
And you got 5 or 6 players who felt the same way Kyrie felt when he was in Cleveland.
Right, because Rozier's not playing the same as he played last year, right? What's the other guy?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown's not playing the same. Tatum's not playing the same.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart's not playing the same. All those role players that played significant minutes last year all of them are not playing like they played last year. But Kyrie's numbers are up and Gordon Hayward's numbers are up.
But the record is down.
And you will also know that their starting center, Horford, has been hurt a lot this year, and his numbers have dropped. So we can make a case to say that maybe Kyrie is a basketball team killer. Not LeBron. Something to think about. Just something to think about.
I can think about it. I'm not going to publicly say it because I've said it a lot before.
Well, your guy, Dre Bailey, man, we appreciate everybody chiming in to Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio Show, man. LTBB in the building. Your guy, Dre Bailey.
Sherman, the building.
Mr. Controversy, Bill Logan, man. We love you guys, man. We appreciate you guys for chiming into the show, man. Stay tuned for Let the Ball Bounce this coming up Tuesday at 6 p.m., man. Also, start at 7:15 on the 24th of this month. Let the Ball Bounce will be hosting a show at the New Orleans, man, over there with DJ Plus, man. So I'm going to put it on the page, man. I'm going to put it on our social media so you guys can follow Let the Ball Bounce, man. Like I told you before, we got a lot of exciting things coming up in 2019, man. We love you guys. It's all love.
Oh, yeah.